It says starting.
It is live.
We're live!
Oh my goodness. Hey everybody.
Hey y'all. Where
Good
am
to
I
see
looking?
everyone.
Right
everyone. Yeah, oh, it says tag you, so I'm gonna tag you. So
Oh.
you might have to go to your page and
I do?
let me go live.
Oh Lord. Okay, what'd I do?
Welcome everyone. Welcome. Hey y'all. Hey. So good to see you. Welcome. Come on. Hey, Juanita. In the room. Come on. In the room. Got to start off with a opening selection.
That's your opening selection?
That's my opening selection.
Lord.
A and B selection. Glory to God. Now, I always joked that if I could really sing,
Hey Tamika.
I would never preach. Yo. I like never would. I would hum, tune up the whole time, and I'm not even playing with
And
that.
nobody would listen.
And that's where she's wrong. Hey, good to see you all. Welcome. Hey, everybody's in their homes.
look at
My
this.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna be reading this the whole time.
Yeah,
oh
just
wait,
keep
see
reading
I
that
can't.
and look
Oh
down.
Lord.
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Huh?
We're using our next door neighbor's internet, so
Are we?
We are so great.
Oh no.
Like this is so
well, that's
exciting.
awful.
Well, I mean,
we're those neighbors.
but if I wave at them, it's like legit.
Oh Lord.
Hey everybody. Hey, it is 8.
Okay. Look.
This is my friend. Hey everybody.
Hey y'all.
Oh, we are. Hey, oh my goodness, we're like having too much fun right
I
now.
know. Look.
Everybody's
I'm
coming
just gonna
on
be
in.
reading this the whole
Everybody's
time.
coming on in.
Ah!
You know, this is like the first time we've done Facebook Live.
I know. I
So
feel.
we don't know what we're doing. We literally like Facebook stalk people that go live, and like now it's us. So like if we hit something wrong,
Yeah, we're sorry. We
but
didn't mean to do
it was a great 2 minutes when it lasted.
Hopefully we don't hit nothing wrong.
I love how like they have people like coming in.
Yeah, I keep looking.
It is like the new church door. Like
Oh,
like
Lord.
like
It's
let's
the
just say
church
somebody comes in late. It's kind of like that one finger where they tipping through.
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. So everybody's coming on.
I feel like
in.
this is a little bit better.
Well, it is because we get to see the name. Like when you preaching. Like the worst thing that can happen when you preach is can actually see people come in late and they looking like ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, I hope you don't see me.
You know the worst part of coming in late is
How
when
you know?
like people are already speaking, the speaker's already speaking,
Uh-huh.
and you're like really obvious,
Yep. And then if it's like a tight
and everybody's
area,
looking at you, get your seat.
and if it's a tight area, everyone's like, excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, well, yeah, like right in the middle.
Yeah, and like
Oh,
you gotta sit down.
That's the worst.
No.
Hey.
Hey y'all. Hey, we're giving everybody a chance to get on. And while we're doing that, hey again, where's everyone from? Like please
Yes,
let us know.
comment. Let us know.
Rep your city, or state or country.
State. Yes.
Hey y'all. We'd love to find
my
out
family.
what your family is supportive.
my family.
You got supportive family. Look at your supportive family. Your family love you.
Oh, thank you.
We love you, Lisa.
So we're gonna be doing this the whole night.
I know.
Oh
like,
Lord, so
I don't
we gotta.
even. I appreciate your service, Jay.
We
But
gotta-
like we're gonna just be looking at this the whole time.
I
Like
know.
we had,
I really am.
we had
so-
something prepared, but it doesn't compare to saying hello.
I know.
Hey, Emmett, that's that San Antonio love right there. We go back all the way to 02. Hey, Joe. How you doing, Joe? Good to see you. Oh, be more in the house. Be more by way of like North Carolina. Hey. Oh my goodness. Hey.
Dunwoody.
Dunwoody. Oh, shout
I like
out.
it.
Mean streets of Dunwoody though.
The mean streets.
Yes.
Dunwoody got mean streets.
They got mean
Say
streets.
what?
They do. They got that little turnaround that you don't know when to go. You just keep turning.
Okay, Dunwoody.
Hey everybody. It is 8:03 and
Yes.
we are so excited to be talking with each and every
Yes.
one of you tonight. It just means the world to us. McDonough,
Yeah.
Phoenix at the moment. You know, McDonough by itself is like Tallahassee. It's down there. Yes, it's that far south.
Oh,
But Tonight,
I've been to McDonald's before.
we want to talk about authentic relationships. We're going to have a great time. We're just going to lead off with just a couple things from our heart. But
Yes.
what we want to do is after we're done, if you have questions, please feel free to list them.
We're going to try to get to them in order.
However they come in.
I might just start writing them.
And well, yeah, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. The biggest thing that we have tonight is just the basics. Like, we're going to take our time, and however long it takes us, however many weeks. The cool thing about technology is that we can come back on whenever. So if you guys like it, we'll stay on. If you don't like it, we're still staying on because I'm if it's just for one,
He's gonna be by himself staying on. Oh no.
Whatever, I'm gonna hold it down.
Oh, okay.
I'm a POP.
Okay.
So tonight with communication, that is the first step to authentic relationships.
Yes.
We cannot say enough that in this season in our lives, one of the things that have just helped to hold us up and to really keep us encouraged and laughing every single day.
Yes.
It's the relationships that are in our life, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's people that we've known. When I would genuinely say on behalf of my wife and I, just for every call, every text.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
we
truly,
just appreciate it.
it's truly meant
all
the
of
world
it. Yes.
to us. And so we just thank you all for being in our lives. And
Yes.
we believe that it's a personal mission of ours to help people experience authentic
Absolutely.
relationships. And so I'm Vince. This is my
I'm
wife,
Ashley.
Ash. We are here in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and we aren't going anywhere. We love Atlanta.
Love Atlanta.
Live Atlanta.
Love it.
Live Atlanta. And it's just formed a near and dear place to our heart.
Yes.
And, we just thank God for being here. And we thank God for you, wherever you may be in the world. But, babe, there was something that you came across today as it relates to...
which was really astounding. So I checked out this study from a retired UCLA professor, and it was about communication. And he said 55% of communication is visual, 38% is vocal, and get this, only 7% is actually verbal.
That's amazing because
7%.
only 7% of
what
all
we say.
communication
Yes.
is verbal.
And I'm a talker, so hey. But really, only 7% of what I say
is what actually
matter,
counts with communication. And that led me to believe that a lot of the strain that happens in relationships, whether it's relationships on the job, whether it's relationships with our friends, our family, our boo thing, our spouse,
Hey now.
a lot of them are strained not because of a lack of love, but because of a lack of skill and how to communicate effectively. And how many relationships can you think of just in your own personal lives that right now they're strained, but it's not because you don't love that person. It just seems like we can't get across to them. And one of the reasons why, and really the main focal point of what we're going to talk about tonight, is because we have to learn how to handle conflict well.
Yes.
And in order to handle conflict well, we have to be in the right headspace. Because if we're in a place where we're not where we need to be,
we're passionate about it, and we want to get our point across,
and we want to make sure that we're not being taken advantage of.
That's right.
And we want to make sure that you're gonna hear me when I talk.
Absolutely.
I will not be disrespected. It tends to cause things to rip and just not be the way in which they should.
No. Yeah.
And so what I've learned is that conflict comes as a result of two different people. Their ways of doing things are completely different, and then they collide.
Yeah.
And the difference between how we view things and how we act determines at how big of a level of conflict that arises. But just because I do things a certain way
and I do things a certain way,
that doesn't mean that I'm right.
No.
And you're wrong.
It always means I'm right.
Conflict. So it's neutral. It's not one way or the other.
Yes.
And really it requires, when conflict happens, it requires us to have a level of patience to hear the entire matter before we respond.
That is true patience.
You know, Proverbs 18:13, I'm loving the New Living Translation. It says, spouting off before listening to the facts is both shameful and foolish. Now, when we're talking before we hear the entire situation that's going on, we're trying to, as the other person is talking, thinking about, okay, I got you, I got my points lined up.
Yeah, but then we're not really listening at that point because we're too busy trying to get our point across. And then I love it when someone else is talking and I already formulate in my mind what I want to say before that person's even done. I've completely checked out of what they were talking about because it don't really matter.
Because we want our point to get
our
across.
point. You need to see my point.
You need to see my side because my side is the right side.
It's the right side.
How many of us have gotten angry with other people because they don't see things the way we see things?
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is we all see things a certain way.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we have differences, we believe the other person is automatically guilty.
Oh yeah, they dead wrong. They dead wrong.
And like, can you think of times where people are accusing or they're very like judgmental before a person can get across? Like how is that body language?
Oh my goodness! So if you're, me, I can't speak for every woman, but we have like a side eye we give somebody. Like if they ain't saying something right, we just looking. Like, okay. Especially when it comes to matters of like your supervisor or something, because we learn not to be disrespectful, but sometimes our face can be disrespectful.
Or our hands can be folded.
Our hands can be disrespectful.
And hands and folded means that I'm done listening to what you have to say.
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
So it's not about what we say.
No.
As we saw earlier, it's
all about how we say it.
How we say it. And so I believe that it's important for us and for all of us, whenever we're in conflict or whenever differences arise, to listen for the purpose of understanding, not listening for the purpose of correcting.
Absolutely.
I've discovered in marriage that as a husband, my wife, I have an opportunity to either be the leader or the listener. 9
times out of 10, I just want him to be the listener. I don't want him to fix it. I just really want him to listen.
and to get it all out. And the importance of that is how we communicate. It's not necessarily that we communicate only in words.
No, we don't.
But we communicate by painting pictures.
Yeah.
And we were doing some research just on what happens when communicating in pictures goes wrong. So there is a Swedish vacuum company called Electrolux, and they were trying to get their vacuums here in America. And part of their campaign slogan was, nothing sucks like Electrolux.
Oh.
And I don't know how that made it. I don't know how that was supposedly cool. They were trying sucks. Nothing sucks like Electrolux. They were saying that nothing has the suction power. But in America,
that's not how it read.
No, it says nothing sucks.
Nothing. That means don't buy this because it's not what you want to waste your money on. That's what that means.
So we have to make it a point that it's not about the pictures that we think that we're communicating, but making sure the other person sees the same thing that we're seeing. I know recently we had a situation.
We had a real life story about that.
It's a good one. So I told my wife that a couple that we hadn't heard from in years reached out to us.
Yes. And so when he said that, I had already started making plans. I was like, okay, good, we can go here, we can do this, we can do that. And I was just noticing that I wasn't getting the same kind of urgency and the same kind of excitement from him. So I was like...
Because all I said is they reached out and she already planning a summer reunion. And so you helped me to kind of help you see what I meant by they reached out. And so Ash.
Because I'm thinking they called, they text, they shot them an email that they saw you out and about, and they reached out.
They like my Facebook post.
They liked your Facebook.
Yeah, like there's an unwritten rule that if someone hasn't had any activity on your page for at least 3 months and they hit like, we're best friends forever.
And that's reaching out.
In my book.
So y'all, what I've learned to do is ask clarifying questions. So in that instance, I think I finally just asked you, so what exactly did you mean when you said they reached out? Like, what did they do?
Hit like.
And they hit liked.
That was it.
That was it.
And we're best friends. At least I think we are.
So now I know what his reaching out means.
So in the end, we just wanted today to communicate that it's important to ask those clarifying questions. We don't want real emotion based in assumption. How many times have we gotten upset? How many times are we ready to call it off? How many times are we ready to let them have a piece of our mind?
Yeah.
And we're assuming that they did something that they probably didn't do.
Yeah, I think the key is listening and getting an understanding, because everybody can hear. We all have the physical ability to hear, but we all need to take time to actually listen, get an understanding.
So going back to our opening point from the retired professor from UCLA.
Yeah, he was right.
Only 7% of communication is verbal. Everything else we communicate is nonverbal. So let's make sure that our words line up with our actions.
And we're being patient enough to get the same picture.
And we're asking clarifying questions. Clarity. So that is all that we have tonight. So we want to open the floor right now. If you have any questions or anything that you wanted to ask or feedback, I saw you all sending a whole bunch of stuff. So
I love this. I'm just learning.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find and see if there's a way I can see all these questions.
I know.
If there was some good stuff here. Oh, Lord have mercy, Emmett. I hope you wrote that post in a dark dungeon in the back somewhere where your wife can't see it on my timeline. I'm gonna go ahead.
I know.
And I'm gonna delete that because oh boy. Ooh.
Yeah, that was that. Mm-hmm.
Also want to let you all know that if you are in the Jackson, Mississippi area this Sunday, we will be in the Jackson, Mississippi area. Our dear friends, a couple of ours that have been mentors to us, we will be at the Word Center in Jackson, Mississippi this Sunday. So if you're in the Jackson, Mississippi area, they have services at 9 and 11 up on this Sunday, and we would just love to hug your neck if you're in that area. If you're here in the Atlanta area, just so many exciting things are happening for my wife and I. We thank you all for your prayers, for your love, for your support. It truly has been overwhelming, and God's grace truly has been sufficient. And we know all things work together for the good, for those who know and love God. Oh, to his point. Ooh, that was a great question. How do you kindly interrupt someone who is talking too much?
You talking about him? Well, you know, I've just learned to let him get it all out. I think that's the best method, because then it feels like I'm just being rude, huh?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, in general settings, that there are times that we have to stop someone from like driving the conversation in places that it shouldn't go. We should acknowledge, we should affirm that they have a valid point, that I'm sure that they have a lot to say. Right. But for the sake of conversation, we want to give everyone
now, I'll tell you something that tends to happen sometimes when you're angered and someone's talking a lot, you could do this phrase and say, "Are you done?" Has anybody ever done that? The "Are you done?"
So are you done now?
Are you done or are you done? Yeah.
That'll set someone off in a heartbeat.
It really will. It really will.
So we have so much that we do want to share. So please stay tuned to our Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter. Just follow us, because we're really walking by faith.
Yes.
And just trusting the Lord with what He desires to do in our lives and in the community that God has placed us in.
Yes.
And we just thank God for you. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being a part. Please feel free to like, share, and have a great time. So with that being said, that was
Are we out?
Are you done?
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
All right.